but he's certainly holed up inside the White House. He's tweeting, and he's watching the TV. Hello? He's showing absolutely no leadership. You're not showing any leadership right now, President Trump, outgoing President Trump. Same as it ever was. Same as it ever was. Same as it ever was. Looking desperately for a scheme to steal the election. Yes, from Joe Biden, but really, steal it from you, the American people. This office belongs to no man. But one man who did hold it, and that's the former President Barack Obama, tonight telling CBS News why he thinks Trump and his enablers are still pushing false claims of widespread election fraud.
They appear to be motivated in part because the president doesn't like to lose and never admits loss. I'm more troubled by the fact that other Republican officials who clearly know better are going along with this, are humoring him in this fashion. It is one more step in delegitimizing not just the incoming Biden administration, but democracy generally. And that's a dangerous path.
Wow, I know. Sounds like a president. Complete sentences. Train of thought. Haven't had that, haven't we? For about 4 years. Didn't more than 77 million people just vote to stop getting dragged down dangerous paths by the President of the United States? And yet, sons, Donald Trump Jr., Eric Trump, pushing the president to aggressively fight to the end. Like their father, they're claiming without evidence that the outcome of the election is rigged. No evidence. No evidence. Trump's daughter Ivanka and her husband Jared Kushner, both senior Trump aides, said to be concerned that his refusal to concede could damage his legacy and his business, that it could do that going forward. Oh, they're worried. They're very concerned. Very concerned. Very concerned. What are they concerned about? The legacy or the business? You want to know what passes for standing up for reality for Republicans in D.C. these days? Senators Lindsey Graham, Chuck Grassley, and John Thune saying that Biden should receive the intel briefings. Other senators joining them.
At this point, just as a matter of protecting our nation's interests, I do think that both the president and his competition here, the Vice President Biden, should have access to those classified reports.
We should be in the same posture that we were in throughout the whole campaign, with both of them receiving briefings as they're both trying to be able to prepare.
Okay, but guess what they didn't say? Still won't say that he got elected. Did anybody say President-elect Biden? I don't know, maybe they did. I didn't hear it, but let me know. They're acting like it is still a campaign and it's any man's race to win. Your guy lost. You want to turn up the volume? He lost. And here's what's so funny to me about the way the Republican Party can't say boo to their golden goose. This is the New York Times, okay? As a next step, Mr. Trump is talking seriously about announcing that he is planning to run again in 2024, aware that whether he actually does it or not, it will freeze an already crowded field of possible Republican candidates. So these Republicans are willing to put Trump first and democracy second because they want the Trump base, okay? But here, think about it. Trump is never, ever going to let you have it, you people who think you're running in 2024. Never going to have it. Never. He looks at all of those followers as his own. Those are his followers. I guarantee you that. And if you're a Republican out there and you're sucking up to President Trump because you want to run in 2024 after soon-to-be President Biden, guess what? he's going to freeze you out and keep that base all to himself. So good luck with that. Boy, there's a turnip truck somewhere with y'all's names on it and an open back. Kayleigh McEnany, the White House press secretary, was asked about this weak sauce grasp on reality, this whole both men should get the briefings position this morning. Here it is.
Kayleigh, while this is happening, it's been brought up by Senator Lankford, a Republican. He said, listen, give Joe Biden the presidential daily brief. After all, Senator Harris she's on the Intel committee. She has high-level security access. Has the president considered that?
I haven't spoken to the president about that. That would be a question more for the White House.
What do you even say to that? I'd ask the White House press secretary, except that's you, Kayleigh McEnany. That's you, Kayleigh. That's you. You're the White House press secretary. Unbelievable. So here's a look. Last night we reported that sources saying that President Trump is dragging all this out as he figures out how to profit from the chaos, raising money for his election defense fund, with some of that money going to his newly established Political Action Committee. Sources also saying Trump's being encouraged by top aides, including Kushner, his attorney Rudy Giuliani, and campaign advisor Jason Miller, to hold rallies in order to gather support from his base for recounts. So if you really think about that, that's a PR move. And there's a snag, they say. Okay? Here's a snag. Ask all the people who go on tour around the country for a living. Right? Tour buses and all that. Rallies are expensive. They don't bring in any money. And we know this is all about the grift. Not about the country. It's about the grift. Money. The wheels have come off the Trump White House. The president is clearly no longer interested in governing. So now what? GOP leaders need to find a backbone. They need to tell him it's time to concede and need to let Joe Biden prepare to run this country. Enough is enough, people. Caitlin Collins is here, Pamela Brown as well, and I'm happy to see both of you. Good evening.